Um, and it seems like he's harping on the fact that he's harping on he's about to get off now. Now that I'm on, he's about to run and get off because I just came on. But he's over here, doing his usual. I'm gonna talk garbage. He's been talking garbage for a nice long 36 minutes now. So I'm gonna go. I went ahead and got on so I could state the obvious about what he's doing or what he's trying to do. What he's trying to do is once again put out a false narrative, and I think one of the false narratives he's putting out is one of the false narratives he's putting out is I've done something to him again, which is not totally accurate, nor is it really true. The thing is, hold on, folks. I'm trying. Okay, there it is. The thing is that he's constantly trying to relitigate the things that have happened over these past 6 years. One of those things being that he's a renowned crook, thief, and criminal, and he figures by come on here and just basically lying about me and lying about the people I hang around with and doing all types of sort of just erroneous stuff is going to uh, make people believe him. And that's the whole thing where that's the whole thing he's after is for someone to actually believe him when he talks nonsense about me. And here he is over here talking nonsense about me again. Now, usually I start off with music or whatever, but I want to make sure that I just start off just simply just talking to you guys, just straight off the bat today, and just get into the stream. But I just thought I'd just start the stream off by just let me see. I'm trying to get the main. I'm trying to get my main screen to show up whenever it'll show up. It should be showing up now. But yeah, that's that. There he is. There we go. So that's what he's doing. So usually when I do this, he usually runs, and because he doesn't want me going back and showing the video. He doesn't want me going back and talking about why he's streaming about me. But one thing I did notice, which was kind of strange about him being angry, because we told my friend Sean, we said, "Yo, man, you need to tell your son to hide his Facebook page, because hide him and his persona, and because basically happens is if Joe find out who you are, he will stalk you. He will become many different alts and try to embed himself into your social network. So anything you say, anything you do, whether it's to family or friends, he will be in there. He will even friend people you know, so he will be able to find out what you're doing, see what you're doing, and use anything anybody say against you. Somebody post something, anything about you, he will have it and he will read it. And he will do this thing called the same thing what Fox News does, where they take something and they lie about it. His whole thing is to sit up here and lie about me being a worse person than he is, and to this day he still haven't figured it out. The problem is that I've done something to him that he can't do to me. Like, I have proven that he's a crook, a thief, and a con man. I've done all that. And there's no way for him to sit back and get around it, no matter how many times he lies. The whole thing about it is that he's done it, and he figures that he can erase it by just simply getting on YouTube and just making countless upon countless of nonsense videos of me making up stuff. And that's what he's doing. That's what this whole video is about. This is all about him getting up and just making up stuff about me. So he's over here right now on this video. What is this video? When was this video? So February 4th. Let's see, 11:40. Let's see. Let me see if I can do something real quick. Let me see if I can do something real quick about this video. Because he's been playing around with this video for like the last hour now, going back and forth, and let's see what happens when we take the toy away from him. Let's see, go live. That movie's like 11 minutes and 40 something seconds long. It's this one. This is February 4th. Yeah, this is it right here. Yeah, this is it right here. So he's gonna keep on harping around this video and keep on saying just making up stuff. It just keep he's just gonna keep on making up stuff. Yeah. And it's just sad that he's a 40-something-year-old man still living with his mom's garage, and we know this by, let's see if I can find it, by this letter that was sent from, this letter was sent to me, right? This letter was sent to me, and I'm going to read this while he's streaming and watching me, and I know he is. Here's a letter that somebody sent me that's actually known Joe since, I believe, middle or high school. And this guy wrote me this letter, and I'm going to read it to you guys because this tells everything. Until we found this letter, which was sent to me, oh, shoot, let me see. When was this letter sent to me? Let me copy and paste this. This is from somebody from Joe's little town. And this was sent to me November the 13th in 2018. That's when they sent me this letter. It was November 13th of 2018. November 2018th, that was on a Tuesday. By that weekend, we knew enough about Joe to confirm that he still lived with his mom and how long he's been living with his mom. This also, and we were able to vet this letter pretty good because this letter had actually gave us all the information we needed to make some of the claims against Joe, because we found that most of the stuff that Joe does is just a pattern of things that he keeps doing, you know, and it seems like he can't stop. And this guy was supposed to be Joe's best friend. So it goes like this. This guy writes to me and goes like this. He says, and let me reiterate this again. This is somebody who knew Joe, who knows Joe, and came across me, and found me. And the guy's legit. I mean, I know who the guy is now. So, and Joe hates this guy's guts, by the way. So it goes like this. First, thanks for stepping up and trying to take this buffoon True Bones down. Second, read all the way through to the end before sharing any of the following information. And it goes right here. Now, this is somebody who knows Joe from his own town. And this is one of the many letters I got from people who knew Joe. He has a history of passing off things he did not make as his own. Let me tell you of my experience. All right, this is this guy's experience with True Bones. All right, this is Joe's friend from school. He knew Joe, you know. And right now, Joe's probably saying, "No, he didn't. No, he didn't." Well, this is somebody who knows Joe. Let's go back to his True Bones channel real quick, because I know he gets a gasp just watching me as he streams. Or, oh, he's gone, folks. He left. He oh, look at that. How you like that, folks? He hit the video too. He left and he hit the video. Wow. That's what he did. Yeah. The name of this letter, by the way, it says, even a troll has a backstory. So somebody who knows Joe knows he's a troll. They know it. But this is somebody, if it wasn't for this guy, we would have found out that Joe was living in his mom's garage. And has been living in his mom's garage since 1983. 83. He's been living in the garage since 19. He's been in his mom's garage for over 20, almost 30 years. And it's funny. It's funny how he talks about other people having less than he does when he has less than everybody I know. He has less. You know, he portrays himself as someone who's something. And I think that's the issue with Joe, is that he wants to be something. He wants to be a lot of things. He wants to be everything, but he's just Joe. And that's all he'll ever be is just Joe. You know? So he gets on his he gets on here and he starts talking about first of all, I'm talking to Hassan. I think I'm talking to Hassan, and maybe Sean Fry. And Hassan that's his name, Hassan. Had got a message from Joe the other day because Joe decided to go to his video and call him a Milli Vanilli. And I'm like trying to figure out why would Joe call Hassan a Milli Vanilli? Hassan does all of his work. I mean, I've been online with Hassan for many hours with him as he worked on his film, you know. Ain't nobody got more passion and pride of his work than Hassan. And Hassan don't have to steal or pretend he's someone. I mean, Hassan has produced music. Hassan has done a lot of things. He's produced films and stuff like that. This iClone thing is kind of new to him, and he's only been doing it by. I mean, he's actually been doing iClone a lot longer than I have. I mean, I've only been known to use iClone for like the last since 2014. You know, and Hassan was like one of the first people in the early days because I had released just a few videos. I released a few videos with iClone 5, and they were very popular videos when I released them because I was doing really cool stuff at the time, and Hassan was one of those guys that just came to me. He was like, "Hey man, do this, do that." I said, "Okay." So later on, me and Hassan became really good friends over the internet, and we started talking about stuff, working. We're working on little small projects. Nothing really came of them because, like I said, this is like the early days of me doing iClone. But one of the things that I do have for Hassan is respect. Is respect. And same thing for me. So the whole thing of me saying stuff about Hassan and Hassan saying something about me or whatever, I always say that's just someone just trying to start stuff. And here comes Joe. Here comes Joe starting up bullshit, lying, trying to manipulate one side or the other. Even one night when I was talking to Hassan and Toby, and after I got off, we did a live stream, and he decided he was going to call both of them up to start lying to them and call me fake and all this other stuff. And I don't understand why he even did that. But Hassan and both Toby corrected them and said, no, the dude's not fake. We've seen him work. I mean, he's been doing this for years. And that's something they didn't have to do, but they did. That's something they just did. They didn't have to. I mean, I don't know Toby Hassan, but they knew me enough by what I do and what I've done to sit back and say, dude, you're crazy. This dude doesn't do this stuff. We've seen him work. He live streams almost every day, and that's just how it is, And now it's like every time I introduce my audience to people I know, Joe comes back and he harasses and stalks them. Look at Genesis. I brought Genesis on my show. He stalked her. He Facebook stalked her. He's been trying to call her and everything. And I just told her just ignore him. He's just a little man living in his mom's garage. He can't do nothing. He can't produce nothing. He calls himself a music producer, but all he's doing is just taking other people's work and mixing it down. I think one time he even got on and said, "Oh, I'm doing stuff from Eminem, and I'm still living in my mom's garage." Yeah, and I'm like, you can't believe nothing he says. When he says that he makes animations, he had a motion cap studio, you can't believe it because it's not true. It's been proven that it's not true. It's been proven what he says is not true. And I keep on trying to tell Joe, it's like, why do you constantly get out here and you try to lie on me and try to lie about me and talk to people like you actually know me? And that's the way. And look at all the videos, even the channels that he's made, that he made in my name, pretending to be me. He talks like that person that he's pretending to be is me, and it's not. And the people who know, people know me. They know I would not do the stuff that's in those videos. So I don't take those videos serious. Even people who don't know me can look at those videos and say, yo, this is somebody slandering somebody. And that's what the videos are. But that's his way of talking to me and trying to insult me without doing it directly, because that's what most cowards do. But the main thing about it is that Joe started off building up a fake persona that he was some big name in music. He said he was pretending he was somebody doing music, and he was doing all these mixtapes and all this other stuff, and he's making music and he's working for clients and everything like that. That's one thing he said. Then he said like he's making motion capture and he's home of 10,000 animations and motions and all this other stuff. That was fake and false too. That was misleading. He says a lot of stuff that's not true, and he cannot believe. My whole mission on my channel is to make animation. It's to show you how I go about making animation, how I use assets, how to go about getting assets to make animation with. My channel is not about insulting, slandering, and stealing from people. That's not what I do here. I will do videos about people like Joe, or just Joe himself, who goes around slandering, doing his hate-filled garbage, and just constantly lying. Now, you will never catch me doing a video on anybody who tells the truth. Why would I do a video on somebody who tells the truth unless I'm doing a video on somebody who tries to underhandedly try to misinform people by lying? I have no reason to make videos about people who tell the truth, but I do have a reason to make videos about someone who slanders and lies and constantly says he's doing something and he's not, constantly says that he's something and he's not. You know, case in point, every time I make a video, he comes and runs behind me and it's like, oh, he's stupid because he's buying the content for his video. Okay, why would somebody buy the content for the video? Oh, that's because it makes their video legal. That means I won't have to worry about some company coming up and say, hey, listen, you stole that from us and we want our money. We want our cut. You know, that's the reason why. See, the way Joe does stuff is like this. Nothing gets better unless you steal it, unless you take something that's not yours. But he went overboard. He went backwards crazy because he wanted praise for his theft and stealing. He would go to people's channels and say, these are true bones. Tell everybody you use true bones or else. And that's not the way you go about business, folks. I don't know of any business person who will sit back and go to somebody and threaten them and say, if you don't do this, we're going to do that. No, you know, first things first, you got to prove that the stuff is yours. Then you got to prove that you made it. Well, I think you got to first prove that you made it, then claim what the people doing is yours. But Joe doesn't do that. Joe has claims that he has claim to anybody's content at any time because, you know, it uses emotion. And think about this, what Joe don't understand. You can't copyright emotion. You can copyright the data that makes emotion. In order for you to get the motion, you need the data. So if you have the motion, the data has to come somewhere, right, Joe? Right? You see, he underestimates the power of human thinking. And he thinks that people believe everything he says, when he's just a crazy man getting on the microphone and yelling and screaming, you know, at anything. And then when he gets jealous, he'll come over here to monetize my video. I mean, that's what he does. When he gets jealous, he comes over here and demonetizes my video because he gets so angry. Because I sit up here and talk the truth. I have nothing to do but talk the truth. Because you got someone, the best way to fight slander is with the truth. Is to expose the truth and not sit back and go to the level of lying. You know, I haven't went to the level of lying about Joe. I have no reason to lie about Joe. Everything I showed you about Joe on this channel has been things that he's done and has been proven that he's done it. Like going over to Unity and selling stolen motions from games and saying that they were his. That's something he did and got busted, and he blames that all on me. Or going to Sketchfab and stealing the whole Mixamo library and selling it on Sketchfab. And then taking thousands and thousands of models out of games and putting up on Sketchfab, claiming that he made those things. Sketchfab found out he didn't make all that stuff. Matter of fact, Sketchfab found out he was in violation of their terms of service and bounced them off of their website. Because he's a crook. He's dishonest. He will lie. He will lie for fame. He will lie for fortune. And that's been his whole thing. Just to lie to get people to acknowledge his existence. I don't have to lie to let people know my existence, if you're not. I just have to open up my computer, start my stream, and just start making stuff. Let me be known as the guy who streamed himself making movies. That's who I want to be. And so far, so good. I've done it. I've met my goals. I have a channel with 17,000 subscribers. I got thousands of views on my videos. I have made a ton of friends in the process. And I got people who respect me for doing what I'm doing. Who respects somebody for stealing? Who respects somebody from slandering and lying on people? Who respects that? I don't. And I think the 17,000 people who watch me don't either, because that's why they watch me. if if he wants to make this a contest, I mean, he's doing it by himself because I'm not trying to compete with Joe. I just want Joe to go out in the world and be himself and try to do something without involving me. But he has to get up in the morning and just sit there and torture himself by obviously lying. Obviously. Then gets angry when we tell this kid that, hey, you don't want to have nothing to do with this grown 50-something-year-old man that still lives with his mom, due to the simple fact that he's been arrested for stalking God knows what else. He's not somebody you should talk to. He's a thief, a known criminal, and he will manipulate and use you to no end. So the best thing for you to do is to hide yourself, hide your persona, hide your family from him so he won't have contact with you. And his dad was like, yeah, we're going to work on that. I said, yeah, that's what you need to do. Then I also pointed to where he got arrested for stalking, and that kind of solidified it right there. His son don't need to be in contact with somebody like Joe. Joe's a grown 50-something-year-old man who prides himself on thievery, theft, lying, racism, and all types of things he's proud of doing. Why would you want your child knowing somebody like that? It's beyond me. But this father is not going to let his son sit back and talk to this man. You see, my whole thing with this project I'm doing for this guy and this kid is to help the kid out, to make his future a little brighter, but letting him know there are people out here that'll help him get on this train, get on the train, and actually get on down the railway. You know, he has the choice to go places I never went, because I had to do everything the hard way, which was on my own and learning everything on my own. I think the best thing I can do is to help somebody go someplace. Because if you don't help somebody go someplace, you wind up like Joe, living with your mom for over 30, 40 years. You know, I don't see this kid doing this. I see this kid making stuff. I see this kid going someplace. And if it takes me 10, 12 hours a day to help him do go where he has to go in life, so be it. But down the road, when he gets to my age, he's going to probably do the same thing I did for him for somebody else. That right there, folks, is what you would call legacy. The more positivity you put out there, the more it goes down the stream. The more polluted the stream becomes with positivity. And that positivity eventually hits someone else, and that'll hit someone else, and it goes on and on and on. But it had to start somewhere, with someone doing something for someone. So if Joe thinks that he can get up and lie and that's going to stop me, he's wrong. He's going about this the wrong way. The only thing that can stop me is God himself. Because I'm not going to stop making videos, and I'm not going to stop helping people, and I'm not going to stop making friends because he feels like I shouldn't. You know, if he wants to get up and say that I threatened him and then show you guys stuff that is not threatening at all, that's fine. That's him. That's him trying to put a spin on it. But most of the people these days, they think before people are starting to think before they watch something and believe it. Do I have proof of Joe stealing stuff? Yes, I do. Do other people have proof of Joe stealing stuff? Yes, they do. Do people have proof of Joe actually going out stalking and harassing somebody? Yes, there's proof out there that he's done that. Is there proof that Joe's a dishonest person? Yes, there's plenty of proof that Joe's a dishonest person. He will lie to you. Do people from Joe's hometown talk about Joe in the same manner we do? Yes, they do, because I have a letter right here to prove it. These are people who know Joe. They know what he's capable of. They know what he does. I don't have to sit back and tell you this stuff. I can read this. I can read this whole thing to you. I think I've read this thing a couple of times. But Joe wants you to forget who he is and what he does. See, my whole thing is not to forget who he is. To make sure everybody knows who you are. I never told nobody not to approach Joe. I'm just saying this is what you need to know. Yeah, create a ripple effect. Exactly. This is what you need to know if this guy ever approaches you. And Joe will approach you. He will. If you're doing something and people are liking it and people are flocking to you because of it, Joe will come to you. He will give you his 3-sided business card, but only point to one side and say, oh, only read this side. And this is who I am. You know, although his business card says 3 different things, he's going to just tell you this is who he is today. Then tomorrow he's something else. He can't remain the same person for too long, because if he does, you know, people find out who he is. There's been too many people out here who's been burned by this man to sit back and say anything nice about him. You see, I can do a whole stream and invite people in and have them talk. Like yesterday, I had Sean and Jada come in and talk about comics. I just shut up and just kept on working, and they kept y'all entertained while I worked. You know, and it worked out pretty good. Sometimes I bring Hassan or Toby in, or whoever I choose to bring in, you know, and talk about different things. Because I believe that, you know, I'm not just about animation or stuff. I'm about a lot of other things. And one of the things I'm about is about letting other artists be known, you know. I can't call Joe an artist because he's not. He's not, folks. He's not an artist. He's just somebody out here pretending to be something. He's trying to say that he's basically trying to prove to everybody he's on the same level as me. He can do what I can do. And then he does it by trying to simplify it. Try to simplify what I do, saying, "Oh, it's all about presets. It's all about this, all about that." I said, "Well, good. Find let's take this for instance. Here's a scene that I did yesterday for the Little Fries animation for the comic book characters. I want to see where's the preset for making this scene. Where's the camera presets for it, Joe? Where is the animation for this, Joe? If it's just a preset, you know." Where's all this? I mean, you say it's a preset. Where can we get this preset at? Where can we buy it from? It's because it doesn't exist until I make it. Yes, I use animations, but I have to use those animations to make a complete scene. See, in order for me to have made this scene, I had to go through many animations, hours of my time, and models upon making models upon making models. I had to make this. I made this outfit for this guy. I kit bashed a couple of things that I actually made the suit, got the hat from somewhere, made the mask. I had to make this stuff. So where's the preset for that, Joe? If I had to make it, if I had to model it, where's the preset? There is no preset. It's just a lot of hard work in putting this stuff together. That's what this is about. That's what I've always done this channel. And he doesn't understand what hard work is. If he knew what hard work is, he would have shut up a long time ago and went on to doing something himself. You know, I go through a host of software. You know, when I make this stuff, I go through Blender, I go through Motion Builder, I go through iClone, I go through ZBrush. I do a lot of work to make my characters. But when you go to Joe's channel, what do you see on Joe's channel? I'll be quite blunt with you. Bullshit. He's either selling you something or taking someone else's music and doing something else with it. Or he done stole something and making advertisements for it. That's all his channel is about, folks. His channel should be called How Clever a Thief I Am. That should be what it is be called, because that's all he's doing. I think Earl, a few months ago, he's saying that True Bones is going some places. So yeah, True Bones is going nowhere. True Bones is going to stay in his mom's garage until this man is 60, 70 years old. You know, by then, little Fry, little Sean should be out there, you know, with his own comic book company or whatever, because he's working hard for that. See, Joe is the kid is young, you know, and he's working towards his own comic book company. And when he first started, I'm gonna tell you a story about him. You know, maybe it was me being sentimental about it, but yeah. When I was his age, folks, I had to do all that shit on my own. I had to find my way to San Diego Comic Con on my own. I had to find my way to get the materials I need to make comic books. I had to find a lot of things, because back in my day we didn't have places like that. We had to find them and order the stuff and make money to buy the stuff that we needed to make comic books back then. And it was a struggle, you know, especially when you when you at that age, you know, and you're reading comic books, you're loving comic books, and you want to draw comic books. And me and my friends, we would sit back and draw comic books and just dream of getting to New York or LA to make comics and stuff. But you know, things don't work out, folks. Even though you put a lot of money, a lot of time and effort, things don't always work out. So what I but I tell you what my friends did do. I can tell you exactly what my friends did do. For some of us actually made that stride into animation. I'll tell you my friend Carl. All right, my friend Carl, he won an Oscar for Hair Love. You know, he was behind it. His company produced it. Yeah, you're right. You will. So my friend Carl, and let me tell you about Carl. Me, Carl, and his older brother. See, I was friends with his older brother, and their family kind of like took me in after I got to a certain age, and I basically known them since the '80s, and grew up with them. I watched these kids grow up, and I watched Carl grow up. Carl, just like me, is the third born of the family. Carl grew up and he was all into music and stuff like that. And something happened when Carl got into, I think Carl got like 17, 18, maybe younger than that. And me and his older brother, we used to draw comic books. We was really into comic books. And what Carl did is, Carl decided he wanted to do it too. I mean, we was going downtown to meet this guy called Lorenzo Lozano, one day, and Carl just said, "I'm coming too." And he came down to the St. Louis Library downtown, and we usually meet with Lorenzo. At the time, Lorenzo was working at Trendmasters, and Trendmasters, that old toy company, and Carl just started coming to our meetings. We used to meet with him like every week. And Carl started, and all of a sudden, I just started seeing Carl started drawing more. He started drawing. Now we was already drawing, but the thing about us, like, we were older. You know, we had to work. You know, we didn't have time to sit around and spend 10 or 12 hours a day. We had to go out and work because, you know, we had to make money to pay bills and live and stuff like that. So, you know, so me drawing was getting kind of rare, you know. But Carl, he was young. He didn't have to worry about it. He was still in school, so he kept drawing. He got good. He got really good in a short amount of time. He kept on hanging out with Renzo, and then what really changed Carl's life is when we went to the St. Louis, not St. Louis, but San Diego Comic Con. And my first time St. Louis Comic to the not St. Louis, the San Diego Comic Con was back in 1999. 1999, we went there. We didn't have a dime, folks. We went from St. Louis to San Diego without a dime in our pockets, dude. And we found some way. I think I was working a job, and I took some time off from that job. I saved up my money for 2 weeks, and that still wasn't enough to get us out there. But we made it out there, and we hustled. We hustled out there because you know you got to pay to get in that place. So what we did is that we stood in line getting ready to buy tickets, and then I don't know how this happened, but these people walked around. It's like, hey, we're looking for volunteers. So like, you can attend it for free if you come in. And it was like, hey, let's do that. So we saved a whole buku load of money by volunteering at the San Diego Comic Con. Now I don't know how it works now, but back then it was pretty cool because before it went all Hollywood and everything, you know, they were talking about the 1999. So, hey, so so we went. I mean, we went to it was me, my boy Ike, and Carl, and the guy who took us out there. I think his name was Artie or something like that. So we all got in there for freaking free. You know, we got into, so the money we was going to, it cost us like, I think for each one of us, I think the tickets were like $40 or $50 to get in or something like that for the whole 3 days. So we was able to pocket that money and use that to buy food with. You know? Because remember, by the time we got to San Diego, we had no money to get back home, right? so we say no, we worry about getting home later. So we went there, we kicked it. You know, we would work like in the morning, and then like in the afternoon, and then we say, okay, for this day, we pick the day. So we would work just like giving out, like we would work like registration, giving out swag and stuff like that. And we met more cool people, right? We met more cool people just standing in line than actually being to Comic Con, because you see everybody come when you there and you like taking people's tickets and stuff like that. You meet a whole lot of people, you know. We met celebrities, we met a whole lot of different people, you know, and it was fun. It was really fun, man. And I think me as an artist grew. Isaac's brother Carl had another mission. I think that day we left, Carl was on a whole new level. I mean, he started. I mean, he started doing things that I didn't do. I should have done. You know, but he basically came home, and I think he had like another year of school left. But during that whole year of school, then after he left school, he concentrated on honing his skills as an artist. And he did. Carl, he did. He did a damn good job of doing what he did. On his own. Like a few years after that, I mean, I think it was in 2007 or something. He moved to California to pursue his career on his own. Things I didn't have the strength to do. I didn't. I didn't have the will like he did, but he had determination. And the will, I was like, I gotta work. I can't do what he's doing. I need to survive this. So he was young. He had the ability to do it, and he did it. And he went places that I couldn't go. But I don't envy him for that. See, I don't envy him for that. I look at it like this. Thank God he made it. Thank God he made it. I'm glad he made it. And what made me proud was last year when he got that Oscar last year for Her Love. He got his company got an Oscar for it. Him and somebody else were the producers, but yeah, Carl's doing good. He's doing pretty good. I talk to him every once in a while here and there. And he's just a success story. I didn't have nothing to do. Now let me put this flip. I'm not saying I had anything to do with his success because I didn't. But what I can say, I was there when I saw him achieving something on his own. Maybe me and his brother probably got him in that direction. But after he got in that direction, he went on to do big things. He had the company called Line Forge. He was him and some other guy, I forgot who it was, some other people. They started this company called Line Forge, and I did some work and stuff for them. I mean, yeah, a little bit. I didn't do a lot. I mean, if I would have pushed it, maybe I could have got some more work and probably would have did more stuff with them. Maybe if I would have pushed it, but I didn't. Because I decided to go back to school and learn animation. That's what I did, because I said I want to concentrate on learning animation now. Because I figured I didn't want to do comic books. I didn't want to try to do comic books no more. I said I want to do animation. And that's what I did. I went back to school, learned animation. And that benefits me right now. But I think Carl, he called me. I mean, I talk to him from time to time whenever I can. When I got a chance. Carl has kids and wife and a family and all that other stuff, and it's all, he's taking care of his people all by doing what by striking that match back then to get that flame going. And once you get that flame going, the only person that can put that flame out is yourself. So here I am many years later, same situation. I got a kid around the same age as Carl, wanting to do exactly what Carl did. And like I said, back then we didn't have the resources. I didn't have the resources to go further. I didn't. I did everything on my own. And some way Carl, found the way to do it. So I'm going to give this kid a hand so he can get his flame going. His flame is lit. It's just got to burn. So that's why I'm doing this, folks. That's why I'm making a cartoon. That's why I'm helping this kid out, And Joe can't stand it. Joe can't stand it, the fact that, he just can't stand it. He just can't stand the fact that I'm here helping someone else out. He can't stand it. He can't stand it. He can't do nothing on the level I'm doing. He's never done anything on the level I'm doing because he can't do it. And he sits back and shows his anger every day. Every day he shows his anger. Every day he shows his anger of things I can do for other people that he claims that he can do, but he never does it because he doesn't have the skill level to do it at. So his whole thing is to sit back and try to get on YouTube And his whole thing is to get on YouTube like he did 19 minutes ago and try to make me look like a fool. But anybody knows me knows that what this man spews is not the truth about anything. Everybody knows it. I don't have to sit back. I don't have to prove nothing to him. You know, this is the one he just did, and he just came back here 19 minutes ago, said something, then hit the video and left. You know, so it's like this, man. I don't really care about him or what he says. You know, because there's evidence out there. I think this is him. I think this is the video he just hit right here. This is the video he just hit right here. I still have it on play. But I mean, it's just sad. You know, how can you be this old still living in your mom's garage? And it even says it right here. It even says it. Where is it? Shoot, what I put? That's not it. Well, I had it up here, folks. Gonna mix them up. Let's see. Is it this one? Nope. This one? Nope. Is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? Yeah, I hate it when I got so much stuff up. Yeah, here it is. There it is. So let me go ahead and read this letter. I'll start at the beginning again. So it says, first, thanks for stepping up and trying to take this buffoon True Bones down. Second, read all the way through to the end before sharing any of the following information. He has a history of passing off things he did not make on as his own. Let me tell you of my experience. I knew Joe since high school, probably met him in late 1983. We shared some common interest and lived fairly close to each other, and he started hanging out in the art nerds group I was in. We stayed in contact after I graduated school. At one point, I even hold on, is it? Hold on. Oh, I even considered him a best friend. So fast forward about 10 years. This would be like 93. So fast forward about 10 years, 93. And by then we had started an internet-based business where we built websites for local bands. This was before MySpace and Facebook. The company was Joe and I, and occasionally another person who I won't name/drag into this. Maybe he's still working with them. I really don't know. As far as I know, he never set up a DBA or actual legal business, at least while I was there. Well, let me tell you, he still has not to this day. The music website began to peter out as MySpace and cheap free websites became a thing. So Joe began casting around looking for another gig. I had bought a legit copy of a 3D modeling program called TrueSpace, now simulated and dead after being bought by Microsoft. And despite the EULA, we began sharing the program. I know, bad. Yes, it is. That's very bad. And also splitting the cost of a domain for a web presence. I noticed one day Joe has a portfolio of his 3D artwork up, so I looked it over. And here we go, folks. This is where you know this is Joe. This is somebody else writing to me about what Joe did to him. So here we go. Included in his portfolio were some works that I did. When I asked him not to do that and take down the work, he didn't do it. His reply was that since I had done some of it on his computer, thus he could share in the credit, which isn't no. Work is work. You're not your computer. You didn't do the work with him. You know, you gave him a tool. That's like That's like me using a screwdriver to screw in a bolt, and then handing the screwdriver back to you because it's yours, and then you saying, "Oh yeah, I did that. I screwed that screw." No, you didn't. I used your tool to screw it in. I used a tool. Thank you for using the tool. I mean, you had nothing to do with this. The labor that went into putting this bolt in, I put the bolts in. But Joe will claim all labor, just like the manufacturer of a pencil, saying anything you use that pencil on is theirs when it's just a tool. But that's how his mind thinks. If you have anything, that's why I say, people, if you're going to deal with Joe, don't deal with him, because anything you do with anything of his, he will steal it from you and say he made it. He did it. He did this. He would not put no work into it. He will just give you some tools, and you could use those tools, and then he'll come back and say that's his. He owns it. Just like he tried to say all the animations that I used were his when it was actually motions I got from Mixamo, which he later stole and used the stolen animations from Mixamo to prove that I took something from him. If that makes any sense. But that's what he basically did. He stole animations from Autodesk. Not Autodesk. He stole animations from he stole animations from Autodesk too. I remember that. He stole animations from Autodesk and Mixamo. And then said that content was his. Then tried to take all my videos down and saying that I used his stuff. And his stuff being the stuff that he stole from Mixamo and Autodesk. And I said, okay, Joe, if you want to do that, I'm going to file a counter notification. You take me to court, and then you prove that this stuff is yours. To this day, Joe's never taken me to court, and my stuff is still up on the internet. But let's keep on going. Let's see where we left off at. Including in his portfolio were some works that I did. When I asked him not to do that and take down the work, he didn't. His reply was that since I had done some of this on his computer, thus he could share in the credit. When I said no, you don't have my permission, put up your own work on your own portfolio, it's good enough, etc., it just made him angry, and he again refused. So I took the initiative, and having server access, took them down myself, removing them from his portfolio page. Well, as you can imagine, this did not go over well. I got a nastygram email that informed me that I was kicked out of his fake company. Fake company had a week to remove my files from the server. Our friendship was over, and I was never to contact him again. And if I did, he would report me to the police for stalking. How ironic. So, Joe has this thing where he will steal your stuff, claim it's yours, and when you take it back, he will call the police on you. That makes sense, Joe. That makes real sense. And it goes on to say, this is how he treated his best friend after 15 years. I believe this was around late 2001, early 2002. So, let's see. So he was 93. So they were doing this. He was working with Joe for almost like 8 or 9 years before Joe went total stupid. But there we go. While it was painful to lose a friend, in retrospect, I'm glad that it happened. It must be like a relief. It must be like the relief a shark feels when it finally scrapes off a remora fish. You know, those little parasitic fish that just sit there and attach itself onto a whale or a dolphin or something like that. And they'll just sit there for like months feeding off the thing until it finally decides to go somewhere else. After all the trouble he caused you, I guess I got off easy. Yeah, you did. As in a aside, sorry folks, I'm not reading the chats right now, but you're probably saying something to me. Hold on. He reported my channel in again. Oh yes, I'll let him go ahead and do that. Let's see. I guess he started the video where he reported my channel in when he saw me reading this letter from somebody from his hometown. And this guy was Joe's best friend for 15 years. And this is how Joe treated somebody who was his friend. So you can kind of see why when Joe streams, he doesn't have nobody comes on the stream to talk to him. Nobody likes him. But retrospect, I'm glad was okay. So as an aside, the markers of True Space used to run a monthly art contest where the prize was a copy of the program. 1 month I won and got a second copy of True Space. Later on, I was contacted by the third member of our It Always Felt Fake company who asked if he could have the spare copy. Not having a beef with him, I said yes and signed it over to him. I'm pretty sure he then in turn gave it to Joe, who I suspect had still been running my share cough 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 ahem copy of True Space. I've checked the third member's website, etc., and he's never ever posted any 3D work using the program. So my theory is that Joe set him up as a straw buyer in order to get his hands on my second / legit copy. Joe knew I wouldn't sell / give it to him after the break, so he used our partner to get it. Sneaky. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly. I mean, that's what he does. He comes and manipulates people. That's what he does. He comes over and he manipulates people and to get what he wants, and he got what he wants. He got what he wanted. He got a copy of True Space out of it. You know, it's all moot now as Caligari was swallowed by Caligari was swallowed by Microsoft, and True Space got killed off. Yeah, True Space is gone, so it's gone. And Joe keeps posting stuff up on True Space. Look at me, I'm using True Space. Look at me. Look at me, everybody. I'm using True Space. Where everybody else is using like more advanced software. Joe's still stuck at True Space. So a few things that I can tell you, but I'm not giving you permission to repeat them publicly, as frankly, I'm more than a little leery since Joe lives nearby and also knows where I live. I just want you to know that you are right in a lot of the assertions or conclusions you have about this guy. So this guy's saying that I'm right. And this is a guy who knew Joe for 15 years. And sorry, I got to read this letter because everybody has to know this, my friend. I'm sorry. And this thing called the police. So if Joe messes with you, just call the cops on him. Here you go. Here's what the guy says to me. He says, he's been scamming a long time. It probably won't ever change. His half brother is a pastry chef, not a lawyer. Todd Fox. Todd Fox, you're a pastry chef. Perhaps on his dad's side, they were still estranged when I knew him. He's still estranged to his pops even now. Even his so-called his dad. I don't think his dad is dead. I just think Joe just said his dad was dead, but I don't think because we've been looking for obituaries and all type of stuff. We have not found them yet. So when we come with an obituary, Joe's dad is still alive. It's still strange when I knew him. Yeah, it's because he was in prison. He was still in prison. When in '83, he was either out of prison or get on his way out of prison because he went to prison in '69, and he should have been getting released around '83, '84. And even when he came out of prison, he must not even came and saw his son. If you never saw him when you were around him for them 15 years, I mean, you was around Joe from '83 all the way to damn near 2003, and you never saw his dad once, so that tells you a lot. He has some relatives in the legal profession, but as far as I know, his brother is looking at cookbooks, not legal books. Joe runs True Bones out of that garage. Hear that, folks? Joe runs True Bones out of that garage. Remember I told you that's when I started saying that he lives in his mom's garage, because he lives in his mom's garage. That's where he is. That's where True Bones is. Don't let him fool you. Don't let him mislead you. True Bones is just a 50-something-year-old man, lonely man living in his mom's garage, out here conning you all into thinking that he's something that he's not. I dispelled that years ago. Back then, I thought he was living in his mom's garage, but he wasn't. He was living. No, back then I said he was living out of his mom's basement, but now we know he's doing all of this out of his mom's garage, sleeping, eating, crapping, lying, all everything is out of his mom's garage. The apartment in his video is actually the garage at 69 Oxbow. His mom owns and lives in the house she runs her counseling service out of it. Joe runs True Bones out of that garage. So let me repeat that again, y'all, for before Joe says, "Oh, I own the studio, the True Bones." The apartment in his video is actually the garage at 69 Oxbow. His mom owns and lives in the house. She runs her counseling services out of the house. What counseling service could that be, y'all? Let's see. Here it is. Here it is. Heart to heart counseling. 69 Oxbow Lake, Right Road, Missile. So this when he wrote us this letter just basically put all the puzzle pieces. you know, what happened is that this letter put together all the puzzle pieces, folks. It put together all the puzzle pieces, and hold on, I gotta rename the title to this. News, commentary, and opinion. Okay. And it's like it's been in business for 12 years. That's about as long as, yeah, I can definitely verify that Joe has been stealing from people and using this address while he did it. This is on all of his flyers that he mails out. I have a couple of those flyers that he's mailed out to me personally and said, True Bones 69 Oxbow with not this number. This number must be to the actual service. But I do believe that there's also another business there called Old as Dirt Antiques. That's another company that I found out that is operated under the name Lou Thorsby at the 69 Oxbow, White Lakes, Michigan, and that would explain why we found images of the inside of this house at 69 Oxbow, White Lakes, and it looks just like an antique shop. That's what it looks like on the inside. You know, the lower level. When you walk in the door, it looks like an antique shop. You got stuff with tags on it, old stuff, and I do have pictures of it. I just don't know where I put them, but that would explain a lot. That would explain a lot from the images that we saw from the inside of this house. But let's read on this some more. And we all know that I mean the whole thing has been open to people's eyes, and I think that's really has made Joe very angry over these past couple of years. It's the fact that we've dispelled him having some super motion capture set up, and everybody knows that he doesn't have the equipment to even make one clip of motion capture other than the fact that he has an Xbox Connect, and I don't even consider that as a real way to make any type of motion capture. Not the motion capture you'll see at Kubo, Mocap Online, Method Studios. So you won't see that in Joe's garage. What you see him is with an old Dell computer, laptop with a 650 Ti and a Xbox Connect set up somewhere with him wearing a funny hat and some PlayStation controllers in his hand, doing goofy shit in front of this thing. That's all you see. That's all you see him doing. Every time he says he's going to make mocap, that's what he's doing. Why do you think he ain't made mocap in a while? Because he knows how stupid he looks after the whole thing about the whole myth and the lie has been dispelled about him actually being an actual company, which he is not. It's been proven that he is not making content. You know, it's just all true. And now people see that it's all true, and that was proof evidence that what I'm saying is getting out there, because Joe had made a video of they saying somebody called him a crook and a thief, Now, I don't know who it was. It wasn't me, but he got all hot and bothered about it and decided to make a video about it, you know. Um, but once again, folks, this letter verifies that the apartment in Joe's video is actually the garage at 69 Oxbow. His mom owns and lives in the house. She runs her counseling service out there. And I found the news article that Joe had removed from the internet that proves that everything that I say in my videos and everything I ever said about Joe in his videos is basically true. And this guy puts it on a note saying, yeah, everything you're saying is true. Most of my assumptions are basically true. And I'm telling you all, before we knew Joe was living in his mom's garage, we thought he was living in his mom's basement. And I also told you all, yeah, he doesn't have motion capture equipment. You know, this all confirmed. He confirmed a lot of stuff I was saying. When he goes right here. What did he say? I just want to let you know that you are right in a lot of your assertions about and conclusions, because you know how I was right about a lot of my assertions and some of my conclusions about Joe? Because I could smell a loser a mile away, folks. That's what I'm dealing with. I always known I was dealing with a loser. I always knew that. I always knew that Joe was a loser. I always knew that he was the way he talked and the way he act can't be the way, because I actually owned and ran my own business, and I never act the way he acted towards people, even people who I work with. If I had a disagreement with people I work with, I would just say, okay, it was nice working with you, goodbye, and wouldn't speak of them again. But Joe has this way, you know, and I think it's because he's trying to uphold a lie of who he tries to be, who he's trying to imitate. He's trying to imitate somebody who actually got something going on for himself. That's what he acts like. He acts like somebody who got his act together, who's doing stuff, and he's not. Because he buries the person he is by lying. If he wouldn't lie so much, maybe people start believing him. But Joe knows, I think it is that nobody believes him where he's at. And that's because they know who he is. See, on the internet, you can be who you want to be anytime, any place. And Joe used that to his advantage to trick people into doing things for him and manipulating people to buy stuff from him, because he can lie. And he don't have to worry about those same people seeing him again. He doesn't have to worry about it, so he can just lie. So here we go again. So here we go to the next line, where it says, it's rich that he attacked your father for having run-ins with the law. And then he says, Google, there we go, Google Mcppek hijacking. Uh-oh, hi, Dad. So let's do that. Let's hello? Not yet. I'm doing something. I'm doing something on the internet right now. I'll try to hop on. In a minute. All right. All right. Bye. That's my sister telling me to come to service. And it starts at 10. It's 10:03 now, and I'll get on that in a minute. But I want to finish this letter off. So it says right here, Mcppek hijacking. So if you go over here, we already Googled one thing about Joe. So we hit paste. And we come across a couple of artists. Hijack attempt 4 by Delta Pilot. That has something to do with this. Remember this name, Kenneth Mcppek. And let's check out this. So this says Skyjacker of the Day. 66, number 66, Kenneth Mcppek. And it's short. It says January 13th, 1969. Oh no, we almost to the anniversary of Joe, ain't we? No, we passed the anniversary of it. The anniversary, yeah, last month of Joe's dad getting arrested for hijacking a plane. Delta Airlines flight 297 from Detroit to Miami. The story? A 31-year-old former gas station attendant with a history of mental problems, Mcppek boarded the flight in the company of his 3-year-old son. He had 2 other children by 2 different wives. As of the Convair 880 prepared to land in Miami, Mcppek hit the call button on his seat. When a stewardess arrived, he jammed a shotgun in her stomach and said, "Tell the captain to go to Havana." The stewardess dolefully informed the pilots that there's a man back there with the biggest gun you ever saw. But as she did so, she closed the cockpit door behind her. It locked automatically, and McPeak lacked the bravado to blast it open. The plane landed and as scheduled in Miami, where McPeak surrendered without a fight. At his arraignment for air piracy, McPeak revealed that his net worth is total valued of $70. The upshot, sentenced to 15 years in prison. Check out The Skies Belong to Us. So The Skies Belong to Us was his actual novel written by somebody who, I think I saw this guy on the news one day actually doing a review of his book. This book is old. And and he was on there to do something else, but he was actually on there for some, I forgot what it was. But yeah, so this guy, so Joe's dad was fooled by stewardess. Stewardess for the hijacking. But there's more on this. There is more on this. Matter of fact, the whole article. Well, folks. I think I had some of my breakfast left in my mouth this morning. Yeah. So this is what I'm dealing with for folks, you know. So let's go back to the letter. So Joe comes after my father and tells me like father, like son, and then Joe comes up here and talk about his sky pirating, hijacking father that he never talked about. I mean, when he said that stuff about my father, I'm like, damn, Joe, why did you leave this out about your dad? Why did he do it? Because he wants people to believe that I'm a worse person than he is. And you do this by chasing down and going after people, family members. Now, I never would have thought of ever coming over and reading this if it was not true. You know, but it is. This is Joe's dad. I'm only saying this because Joe ran after my dad. After he found the mugshot of my father posted up somewhere, he came after me, saying like father, like son. But now, how is it, Joe, that I've never been in jail? I've never been in jail, never had to go to jail, never ran in with the law whatsoever. But you, Joe, have went to jail many a times, just like your father. So how can you say that about me and you can't say that about you? It's because, folks, he's just got issues, and he's got a problem, and this problem is jealousy. You know, being a black man growing up, to be very frankly honest with you folks, my dad, he left the household when I was like 15 or 16. So my dad been there through like the earliest part of my development. He's always been there. You know, and then even after he left, he was still there. He was still a part of the family, still a part of my life. Joe's dad, he was barely there at the beginning. And after he got out of prison, he was barely there, right? He was barely there afterwards. As you can tell from the letter I wrote, the guy basically never saw Joe's dad. Never heard of him. Never even heard Joe talking about him for the 15 years after Joe's dad got out of prison. But then Joe wants to talk about my dad. See, I'm still close to my father. I can pick up the phone, call him right now, and we'll talk. Yeah, just like all family members, we have our ups and downs, but damn, that's just life. In general. You know. My dad's getting older, and I'm not getting younger. And some things you just got to put to the side and live on. You know. That's what makes you stronger. But, yeah, there's something else he pointed out to me that I found it amazing. And then right when he said that, I went way back to where Joe did what he did to my father, and I was like, this freaking hypocrite. He's gonna come after me and say like father, like son, you know, because first of all, because Joe thinks because all black people steal. That's what he thinks, and his white privileged self. Hides the fact that, his dad went to jail, went to prison, federal time, because he stole a whole damn airplane. Whole airplane. He doesn't mention, when he sits back and calls himself critiquing somebody, he never mentions the stuff that he should be critiqued about himself. See, that's hypocrisy. Not once when this whole thing started off did I ever say anything about anybody in Joe's family. It said everything Joe does includes his family because Joe hides behind his family, like he hides behind his mom's address in her garage while he steals from hundreds and hundreds of people and lies to hundreds of people about what he is and what he does. You see, I don't have my parents. My parents weren't put on this earth for me to hide behind and lie and use them. My parents put on this earth do what all parents are supposed to do: live, be prosperous, live, and have children, and make sure those children have children, and carry on and carry on. That's the way I treat my parents. I treat them like, thank you for giving me this gift called life, and I'm going to use it and exploit it to the fullest of my ability. But Joe is here just to exploit his parents. That's what he's been doing to his mom. But I guess I can guarantee the fact Joe's not telling his mom that, yeah, he's selling stolen content, using her address, claiming that he has a business there, not paying taxes and all that stuff, and using her address. And she's probably just saying, oh, Joey's just out there in the garage just doing his thing. Well, he is doing his thing. He's doing criminal acts back there. And he's not telling you the truth of what he's doing. And you're letting him do it. But that's okay. It's going to catch up with you too, Lou. It's going to catch up with you. As soon as the FBI read my 20 complaints I've put in and starts the investigation, you will understand. Okay, so here we go with the mocap stuff. So here we go with the mocap stuff. So he was just starting to get into the mocap stuff when we had our blow up. I remember telling him, now listen to what he tells his friend Joe. I remember telling him that he can't just take stuff and resell it. Imagine my surprise when I Googled his name a couple of years ago and I found your channel. Same old song and dance. I know well the expression in your voice when you speak about how relentlessly annoying this guy can be. I'm sorry he latched onto you as his object of obsession. He's not the only one who thinks this about you, Joe. But like I said above, it was a relief in disguise when he severed his ties to me. Hopefully, you too will have some satisfaction when you can finally put this whole weird situation in your rearview mirror. I really hope some of these big companies take some troll stomping action. I've got a couple of them to do. We just need to get some more in to do the same thing. I am giving you this information in confidence, and I'm going to leave it there. So, this is coming from somebody. Oh, Joe must be back on. He must be back on to clear something up. No, he's back. He's back on to.
I am just a drug to satisfy. You see, that's what narcissists do. Acting like he knows everything, and you see that's what narcissists do, folks. To me, me to him or her, I am just a drug to satisfy.
No, you're not a drug to anybody, Joe. You're an annoyance. All right, I'm just telling you this, like your friend said. You're just an annoyance, and you know you're an annoyance, and you keep on acting like someone's doing something. So now he gets back on after he did all the false reporting and stuff on my channel. He disappears and comes back and say, "I'm just doing music. I'm just over here doing music," and then he starts off by doing this. Now I know he still hears me. I know he still watches me. That's why he has the headset on, because that headset is hooked up to some other computer where he's listening to me. Then he comes over here to the One Gun Loves to Dance on TikTok, and he's he's actually watching my channel.
Moron who doesn't make any sense, and just dribbles on and on about other people.
Joe, how am I dribbling on when this person wrote this letter about you? This is not dribble. This is the actual facts of the matter right here, man. This man is actually telling me about your past. He's writing to me about some things and confirmed some things about me that, not about me, but about you, that I had assumptions on. The guy says, yes, some of the stuff is true that you're saying. Some of the things you're thinking about is true. And that goes to show you, folks, I can point out a loser. I can point out somebody who wants to be something, but won't put in the work to do it. Loser. Somebody who wants to sit back, he's something and he's not. Loser. You know, that's basically that's basically, how accurate I was when this whole stuff started, when I figured out who and what he really was.
Sad.
So he so now he's like, hey, I'm just gonna he just came back on.
He's making quick, tired mistakes again. He just woke up and he's already angrily doing his trolling. Oh, there you go. Thank you so much.
I don't care. That's your friend, not mine. Let's see.
Do with him.
So, in a nutshell,
because he doesn't know what else to do, or he's...
So, let me tell you what he does. See, he's angry, and he's mad, right? So, what he did is, a few minutes ago, that he came back and made a video of him making false reports on my channel again, on videos. Now, why would Joe want to take down any video of mine after he said, I'm not going to take down any of these videos? Why would he do that? It's because he's mad, jealous, sad, and angry. Hold on, let me cut my phone off, because I don't want nobody bothering me while I'm trying to, I'm just going to cut the ringer off. I know somebody is going to call me while I'm on streaming. There'll probably be some people from the service saying, why come you're not in the service? Why? I'm like, I'm not, because I'm taking care of a troll. I'm taking care of a lying troll. So he comes back on here, and then he starts this BS. And then first he goes over here and takes a picture, a screenshot of what I'm doing, and then he starts his BS like, oh look, I have more proof. More proof of what? Actually, what this is just evidence of everything I've said is true. That's all that proves. That's all that proves. All you're doing is showing them the person who wrote this letter to me, Joe. That's all you're doing. I don't care if anybody knows who sent me this letter. The guy who sent me this letter knows he sent it. And he sent this letter to me to let me know that I ain't the only one who's ever encountered you or your person. I don't even know Joe. I've never met him a day in my life. But yet, I can speak so highly and accurately about him that somebody who knows him says, like, hey, you're pretty close to what he really is in real life. That's amazing. That's totally amazing, folks. But yet, Joe still has no way to prove to people I'm a worse person than he is. Still no reason. Hey, what more can I say, folks? What more can I say? And let me show you how jealous Joe gets. I mean, Joe will come over here. Let me show you how jealous he gets. Oh, okay. I thought he demonetized the video, but he didn't. I thought he would have demonetized the video by now, but he didn't. Yeah. So, I'm going to tell you guys what I'm going to do. I am going to go back. I'm going to get back and stream because I'm going to work on this. I'm going to go back and working on this. And I'm going to start a brand new day off working on this. But what I was doing before he showed up, I was looking for motions. I was watching Lovecraft. I was watching Lovecraft. I was watching the first episode of Lovecraft Country. I went and got HBO Max, and I started watching Lovecraft, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good, especially the first. I would say the first 3 minutes was crazy. The first 3 minutes, it was like every book that Lovecraft wrote was in like the first 3 minutes of this movie. H.P. Lovecraft wrote is in the first 3 minutes of this movie, and it's crazy. This shit's crazy. It gets kind of strange. I mean, it's just strange, total strangeness, and it's good. I'm gonna finish watching this episode. I want to watch the second episode, so I should be on around 12, 1-ish, working on stuff again if I don't get bothered. I think I will get bothered. I think we'll get bothered. But yeah, folks. So that's all I have to say for right now. And he can sit over there and play his music and say, "I'm not doing nothing. I'm just making music." And One Gun, he's just an evil person. Look at him talking about me. Look, look at him. Look at him. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, he's going over demonetizing my videos, making fake, false reports on my channel. And he's just doing everything he possibly can as a troll to prove that he's right. And the only way for Joe, and the thing about it is, he tries to prove that he's right by taking other people's content down. How is taking down somebody's content, prove them wrong? Wouldn't you want their stuff to be up so you could be like, okay, this is what this guy said about me, and then you try to dispel it? But what Joe does is Joe tries to come back and lie to dispel everything I say, then takes it down in a way so he can say, see, I told you everything I said was true. But how can people know if it's true if there's only one side, Joe? See, he's really one-sided Joe. The thing is to eliminate the truth and keep the fiction around. That's funny, ain't it, Joe? That's real funny. So as Joe tries to sit back and figure out a way to take out my One Gun 2 channel, which I know he's been trying to do. He's been trying to take it down. I want to actually put some more stuff up on there soon on that One Gun 2 channel. I just haven't got around to it. I need to get off my lazy butt and actually make some content, because I'm always over here making motions and stuff. I mean, not making motions, but making stuff up on this channel. But later on, folks, I'm going to get back to working on this today. I'm going to add a little bit more to this animation, and we're going to get back to working on this. Just doing stuff that he can't do. This is why he's jealous, folks. He's jealous because he can't do this. I sat here and did this. I sat here with a bunch of friends yesterday and worked on this for about maybe 3 hours worth of work or something like that, close to 3 hours worth of work. And I sat here and I chatted with friends and people who know me, and we had a good time because we didn't talk about him the whole time. And he's mad because he wants to be a part of what I'm doing, and I won't let him in. And he's going to keep on irritating and bugging me until I let him in. And it's not going to ever happen. So, that's it for me, folks. Have a nice day. This is One Gun. I'm signing out.